Now in this video I'll be showing you one of my favorite places in Salima. Now this place is called Mkuyu Game Lodge, and as the name suggests, these guys have a bunch of wildlife. They also offer accommodation. Now this was their bar and restaurant area. Now let me show you what their rooms actually look like. This structure that you're seeing is the one that they use for accommodation, and this is what the rooms actually look like on the inside in case you guys are planning to spend your night here. But definitely a highlight for the trip for me was definitely their game drive, and as soon as we got to their park area we already started seeing a bunch of wild animals, and it was just pretty interesting. And we also came across some giant ostrich eggs, and they told me that they have a variety of giant birds. Now the first birds that we saw were these emus. Now these emus are not originally from Malawi, they were actually imported from Australia, and these birds are flightless birds. They don't have wings and they just look Jurassic, like you're walking in the era of dinosaurs. And these birds were just gorgeous, but the reason that they were in this enclosure is because these birds have beef with the ostriches. Every time they meet up with the ostriches, it's on sight and these guys start fighting. And just as we left the enclosure, we saw a bunch of ostriches, the ops, and you can tell the difference between the ostriches and the emus, because the ostriches, you can see they have wings, they're more slender, and they don't look as Jurassic as the emus. And it was my first time seeing the emus and also my first time seeing the ostriches, which was just an overall and interesting experience. And apart from the giant birds, these guys also had an enclosure that had crocodiles, but it was anticlimactic because the crocodiles were sleeping the whole time. But they also got us to the watering hole where they had a bunch of other wild animals like zebras, and I'm not gonna mention all the other animals, I don't want to butcher the names, but it was pretty interesting because most of the animals come meet up at the watering hole, I guess for a drink, just to chill, and it felt like you were walking in the Garden of Eden. It was pretty interesting. Another highlight of the game drive was the fact that they took us to this long elongated tower where you climb all the way to the top and you have a full panoramic view of the park. I'm afraid of heights, but I got all the way to the top and it was definitely worth it because the views up here were simply amazing. And it was time for us to go back to the main game lodge. At this point we were hungry, so we decided to order some food at the restaurant. This is the menu for your planning purposes, and we got ourselves some burger and chips, and we decided to take a dip in the swimming pool. Anyway guys, thanks for watching, and I hope you hit that follow button so that you don't miss out on any more amazing places like this. See you on the next one. Peace.